Hello, everyone. We are going to do a reading on missing Riley Strain. He's a University of Missouri student, 22 years old, last seen Friday, March 8th, a week ago. Today is March 16th. 6'5", blonde hair, blue eyes. Disappeared in Nashville. So he's from the University of Missouri, but then he went to Nashville, and he was, my understanding, was partying at a bar, and he got kicked out. Bar saying he only had one drink at their bar, but how big was this drink? Or was he drinking a lot more before he went to that bar? Either way, the bar is being investigated. They've got images, video of Riley walking around Nashville, stumbling around Nashville, I should say, because he really looks pretty drunk. And he fell at one point. So they've tracked him. Last time his phone pinged was near this Cumberland River, which I don't love, near a bridge. And that is never a good situation. What happens again and again with guys? I'm hoping this isn't the situation with him, but they're drinking. Drinking leads to them having to pee. It looks like Riley was lost. They try to find a place that they can go pee without people seeing them. They don't know where they are. There's a river. They go down by the river, and unfortunately, they fall in. That is probably what happened to Brendan Santo, Michigan State University student. Similar circumstances, left a party, had been drinking, and they found him months and months later after hiring a private investigator to go search for him, who actually cut through the ice and put cameras down and found him. They had a great private investigator. I hope something like that has not happened to Riley Strain, but I bring that up because people need to know, like, don't do that, because that happens. We saw that happen with the guy in the Navy, too, up in Chicago. I think he was in the Navy, who disappeared, and his mom was searching. I think she came from Florida or Texas, and she was searching all over for that poor kid, dumpsters and everything else, and unfortunately had fallen in the water, and they found him in Lake Michigan. Similar story. He'd been kicked out of a bar. He drank too much and was out wandering around and probably went to the water. So I hope that's not what happened to Riley. I just hear that same story, and I bring it up because maybe one of you will be out drinking one night, and no, don't go near the water. If anything comes to your mind, let it be that, because it's just not a safe situation. So with that said, I'm going to get going on Mr. Riley Strain's reading. We're going to do our usual, just like foul play, suicide, accident, actual passing. Did he leave on his own? See what the cards say. And then we'll ask about where he can be found. So first card I am going to pull will be a foul play card. So let me just ask about Riley Strain and foul play. Sometimes things aren't as they seem. You know, that's my first logical conclusion on what maybe happened to him, but cards surprise me sometimes. All right, foul play. Tell me about this being foul play. I don't know if I have two here or one. I definitely have the first one. Okay, so that's somebody being in control. They're in control of themselves and what they're doing. Doesn't signal foul play for me. Doesn't signal foul play. I mean, the possibility is there that Riley was the bird instead of the person. But this card overall, which is the Nine of Pentacles, is an independent person making their own decisions. So it does make me think not foul play. Let's go with suicide. I really doubt that would be the case, but you know, when somebody is drunk and you just never know. You just never know. So we'll ask about a suicide. Fortunately, when people disappear, there's a few scenarios that it could be, and this is one of them. So what I see is the person kind of being out in the cold, wandering around, very lost. I think he was lost. I think people said he was lost, and that's what I feel. Feel like he got kicked out of, you know, there was shelter around, but he was kicked out, right? So he's wandering around. He's not in his best situation. Not doing well. That's what I see. This guy actually does have some, you know, something around his head. I hope he didn't get a head injury when he fell down. They do have a film of him falling and a video and getting back up. but they said there was no blood at that scene, so that's good. Looks like somebody's watching this situation too, though. This may be the bouncers at the bar kicking him out and making him go. It doesn't feel like suicide from that. It feels like it didn't go well for him. The situation wasn't good. He was out wandering and he wasn't in a good way. That's what I see. That is what I see. All right. We will ask about, so I'm not seeing suicide either. I'm not seeing foul play and I'm not seeing suicide. Let's ask about an accident. An accident for Riley. Riley Strain. To me, that seems the most likely thing that probably happened here. Tell me about Riley Strain and an accident. I got that one here. That is the Queen of Pentacles, and that is somebody looking very, very, very intently at something. Does not scream accident to me either, to be honest with you, which is interesting because I thought this would be an accident. So, Queen of Pentacles looking for something. I do feel like he was looking for something. He was looking for that hotel. We may read a little bit further on that, but I'm going to do a natural passing and left on his own. Let me just ask for a clarifier on that Queen of Pentacles, because I see, let me ask for a clarifier, Queen of Pentacles, accident. Tell me clarifier on accident. Accident. Give me a clarifier on this being an accident. Well, these aren't good cards, are they? When I ask for a clarifier, I see him with the Queen of Pentacles looking for something. And then when I ask for clarification on it being an accident, I've got the Three of Swords and the Death card. So I don't love my clarification one bit on this being an accident. I just feel like Queen of Pentacles was telling me looking. He was looking for something. He was really looking for something. It's probably his hotel. It's funny, I'm seeing the 5-star. Did he stay at a 5-star hotel? Nice hotel. I feel like he was looking for his hotel. And he... I don't like what I see there. Three of Swords and the Death card, not a good combination for accident. That's what it's leading me to believe, that this was probably an accident. But we'll ask about a natural passing because it does happen very rarely for a young person, but it can happen. But I do think Riley had an accident when he was looking for, I think he was looking for his hotel. For some reason, that star-rated hotel keeps coming to me. Tell me about this being a natural passing. Natural passing with him. Well, that's not good either, is it? We've got an accident, and then we've got like the tower. What are people doing in the tower? They're falling. And again, I don't like the river thing because he could have fell in the river, just like I was talking about. So we're going to ask about the Cumberland River. We're going to ask right out, did he fall in the river? At this point, they're looking for him in there. We know that. So the speculation is out there. So I don't feel terrible putting that up. But usually I like to be careful about this stuff. Riley's cards aren't great. I'm just going to say right now, Riley's cards are not good. Left on his own, that would be wonderful if he did. But at this point, it looks like more of an accident that led to him falling. Elaborating on that accident. Left on his own. Yeah, not great cards for Riley. We've got the Ten of Swords now. Who did we get this card with? Brendan Santo by the river. Brendan Santo, who had passed by the river. I am being drawn to that river. We've got the Hierophant in here, which is a strange card to get for left on his own. Again, these people are looking up to the Hierophant. I feel like he was still looking for something, and then there was an accident. That's the way I have it. I'll show you the cards, how they're laid out to me. This combination is one you just never want to see in tarot. And that's what I've got laying out in front of me. The Three of Swords, the Death card, the Tower, and the Ten of Swords. None of those cards are good cards to have in your reading. I mean, they are if you want something to end, you know, if you want things to be done with, if that's what you're looking for. But I don't like that diagonal mess I'm seeing right there. Okay, let's just ask what happened. What happened with Riley? What happened? What happened with Riley? Nice looking young boy. Looks like he got into some sort of accident. Riley, what happened? What happened here? There's all kinds of stuff. It doesn't have to be the river. Somebody could have hit him in the car for all we know. Stuff like that. Okay, so we have Pentacles in both these cards right away. We've got the Knight of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. Just going to run my hand over them and just feel into that a little bit. Guidance. He was looking for guidance. I do feel like he was, and that's where I'm being pulled back to this Hierophant. I think he was looking for directions on how to get back to this hotel. I think he was looking for guidance. So we've got the King of Pentacles asking maybe this, the Knight of Pentacles, which would represent Riley, asking the King of Pentacles how to, somebody who knows that city and knows it well, how to get back to his hotel. That's interesting. I feel like he was asking for directions, trying to find his way. Okay, so I'm just going to ask a little bit more on that. Tell me more about Riley and what happened. Riley's strain. What happened? I see him stumbling around. I feel like he fell again. Fell off a curb into the street. I see him doing that. Tell me more about Riley. What happened to him? Getting a strong pull on this card here. That is something going under something. So we've got all these pentacles too, one after the other after the other. I almost feel like he may have fallen under something. I'm just asking for more information about that. More information on what happened to Riley. Riley's strain. I feel like he fell. I feel like he was asking for directions. I feel like he fell under something. All right, tell me a little bit more about Riley and what happened here. How do you have fallen under? That's weird. Tell me more about Riley. I'm just going to ask one more card about what happened. It's confusing to me. And then there's a man involved. It does look like a man involved. We saw that before with the King of Pentacles. Now we have the King of Swords. Seems like there was some sort of like accident with him falling under something. And someone else potentially being involved. Let me just ask for clarification on this other person's involvement. Tell me more about what role this other person played, their involvement. Feels like there was some sort of potentially another man. Tell me more about this other person's involvement. Okay, so here's a lot of like trepidation, worry, concern. Sometimes people act out on impulses in this. It's not a very, very good card for mental health. Sometimes somebody's mental health is not well when you get this card. And that's what I'm feeling with this other person. There was this whole homeless camp thing. So let me ask about the homeless camp. I still feel like it was an accident, but there's some other oddity going on here. Like someone else knows more than they're saying. All right, anyway, let's ask about the homeless camp involvement. Homeless camp involvement. Tell us about someone at the homeless camp being involved. Because they went to a homeless camp, the police, or the family, I'm not sure who, probably both of them, trying to find information because he was seen going that way. And I think this homeless camp may be down by the river, not sure. Tell me about someone from the homeless camp being involved in Riley's disappearance. This is him being outside, the Ace of Pentacles. It does look like a place where somebody might camp. It does look like, and then we've got all those pentacles again. What in the world are these pentacles standing for? I feel like I am being money. Did someone try to rob him? Is it something along those lines? And then there was some sort of accident? It's sort of like accidental thing, but there's pentacles, a lot of pentacles in here, and pentacles can stand for money. I'm just going to ask if he was robbed while he was wandering around. Tell me about Riley being robbed while he was wandering around. I feel like there was, sure does seem something to do with money in here. Tell me about Riley being robbed while he was wandering around. That makes me feel like it's a possibility that somebody might have. I mean, these people are being awfully friendly. They're like, yeah, come on over here. It feels like that may have happened to him, unfortunately. I know when I was walking around down there, I want to say it was Nashville. It felt really good, and then you go a few blocks and it felt really sketchy. Like it changes really quick out there. Let me ask about, so potentially, I do see potentially he may have been robbed at some point, or somebody may have, I did feel some money involvement there. Someone wanted maybe his money. And that may have been this whole, we got that King of Wands earlier with somebody watching him walking around kind of drunk and stuff. Remember this pair that we got? This makes me wonder. And the first card we got, when I asked about foul play, we got this guy. Well, it's a lady, but she's got all those coins around her. She sure does look rich, doesn't she? Seems like somebody may have been interested in him, thinking, hey, he's drunk, he's wandering around. He's probably got money on him. Feels like maybe that led to this other situation happening. A little bit different spin than I thought at the beginning. Let me ask about the Cumberland River involvement. So, Cumberland River involvement. Cumberland River. Tell me about Cumberland River involvement. This is somebody wanting to make somebody disappear. I feel like that happened to him. I think somebody wanted to make him disappear. I'm not sure he's in the river. I'm not 100% sure about that. I'm not saying he's not, but I feel like someone else wanted to make him disappear. So I do feel that while there was an accident, I do feel like there was some other involvement into this situation too. Let me ask about a clue to know where to go. A clue to know where to go. Give me a clue to know where to go. So a clue that searchers would know where to go. A clue to know where to go to find Riley. Well, this is somebody kind of, again, in not good mental health state. I think somebody, either he wasn't in a real good mental health state at this time, or somebody else, but I feel like it's somebody else. And I do feel like there's somebody else around there. It's kind of wandering around those streets, not in a good state of mind. And I think that person may have tried to rob him and may have had some sort of knowledge of more of what happened with him. Clue to know where to go as the Eight of Swords. And that person is down by a river. And they are very anxious and lost, and you can look at them. They're very worried. They're tied up, they can't move. Tied up, can't move, blindfolded, down by a river. Okay, let's go. Let's ask a little bit more. A clue to know where to go. Let's ask for another hint on that one. They've got people searching all around that river. A clue to know where to go. I haven't got a ton of water cards. Well, let me take that back, because now we have literally somebody like walking towards the water and someone very sad by the water. And what do we have back here? A bridge. And didn't they last see him by a bridge? So I would go downstream. It does kind of look like that is a possibility, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it does look like that's a possibility. With that Ten of Swords that we got earlier, um, the Knight of Cups, I've got these three cards kind of with water and a river through them. I'll just show them to you so you can see them yourself. These I got one after the other. When I set a clue to know where to go, we had every single one of these cards has a river running through it. And this is the Lost card. And that's a cup card, which, well, these two both are cup cards, and cups stand for water. And this one is like, can't move, right? Caught on something, trapped. Kind of that, remember that Brendan Santos story? Could be something like that. So I think he had other things going on that night. I think somebody did try to rob him. I think he fell. I feel like he may have hurt possibly his head or something. Different from this other fall that he had that we saw on camera. I think there was another fall into the street. I think he went under something, but under something could have been underwater, or under the bridge. Something of that nature. Perhaps under the bridge, trying to go to the bathroom after all this weird stuff happened. There was some sort of someone else's involvement. I'm not sure that person's involvement was to the point that they're the ones that did something that caused his disappearance. I do feel like there was another situation in there. Let me just ask the closest known landmark. Closest known landmark to where he can be found. The closest known landmark to where he can be found. The world is not a great card because it means a completion card. Sometimes it means that your time in the world has been completed. But as a landmark, we've got the world. And I'll just leave this because I don't know anything around there, and I don't know what things look like, and I don't know what places are along that river that may have a similar name or may have some of these mottos or some of these logos or something on their sign that looks like this. I don't know. It's got some of the astrological signs, you know, the fire, air, water. Okay. With that said, we're going to ask, how can he be found? How can Riley be found? How can Riley be found? I go back. I don't think the bouncers at the bar, I know he was thrown out. There's just these two men that, and the money situation that make me wonder, could that have even happened at the bar? There was some issue there. I'm not sure if it was at the bar when he was out wandering around, but there was some other issue that popped in here too. So how can he be found? How can Riley be found? How can Riley be found? I've got two cards for that. Yeah, I don't know this. We've had a couple cards like that, like, this is kind of like your worst nightmares kind of happening. This is temptation, addictions, issues like that. Did he ever do other things beyond alcohol? Was he doing other stuff? I feel like down here we see the fight, him not getting along with somebody, which I've seen in here. I don't know if it necessarily was a fight. I felt like somebody tried to take his money, or he wasn't giving his money over, some issue. I would like to know the issue at the bar at this point. If he only had one drink, then what's the issue? It may not have been at the bar, though, because he was wandering around the streets and he was clearly drunk. And I just get that somebody was watching him. This temptation, how can he be found? I hate to say it, but was he trying to find something more? Like to get high or something? Is that why we got the Queen of Pentacles for an accident? Because I have seen this situation when somebody is very fixated on getting a fix. And then there's this other stuff that happened. Was he into a little bit more than what we know? And was he kind of out there looking for it in all the wrong places, unfortunately? And that led to some not good situation. I'm questioning that. I don't know for sure, so don't start saying, oh, Riley, he did more than drinking. I don't know. I sure do have this addiction card loud and strong, and this, a lot of worry because of this, something happening. May have had a little bit more than just a drink that night. That's what I'm saying. Closest known landmark would be, where do you get this stuff? Where would you get that stuff? There. Where would you get that? I'm going to ask about, will he be found? Will Riley be found? Will Riley be found? Yeah, but it's probably not going to be the best outcome. It's my angel card. Not my best, not a good outcome. Not my best, most positive reading. I don't feel good about Riley. It doesn't look good. I'll just ask for advice to searchers. Advice to searchers for Riley. Advice to searchers. Well, this isn't a great thing because I got this card with Brendan Santo. That means he moved, and we got that from Brendan Santo. And how he had moved was he had moved down the river. He'd been in one place, moved down the river with the river current, and gotten caught up quite far somewhere else. We did see that element of possibly being like tied up, bound up in some of these other cards that I got. Did see a hint of possibly by the river. I did see possible addiction in here. I got to be honest, I just did multiple times. Then we've got this whole sneakiness type stuff. Well, what about that sneakiness? What's going on with that? There does seem to be some sort of other involvement, which I don't quite understand. Was he sneaking, trying to do things, score things? Was someone else being sneaky? Either way, wherever this thing happened originally, he's moved. He's moved. He's beyond that. And I do see that he had way more than just one drink. I mean, it might have just been one drink, but he had other things in his system, if not a ton of alcohol. And he was looking for more type thing. Whatever happened, there's an element of it happened here, but he's moved there. So whether he got into a car and somebody moved him, we have a man here. We do. So I'm questioning that man and what his involvement was, whether this or was that somebody he was trying to score from. Maybe he was just trying to get more alcohol, but maybe he was trying to get some other things. I don't know for sure, but I do have the addiction element here. And I do have he wanted more and he was trying to get more of a fix. So whether that was drinking or what, I'll leave it at that. I don't know. He very well may have. My, I'll just say, he either got into a car with someone, was moved away, or he got in that river and was moved away. I feel this element of being moved. Yeah, I do. So that didn't answer my will he be found. If he's found, it's away from where he originally was. So that ping on that bridge, he's not going to be found right there. If that's where he last pinged, he's going to be away from that. Let me ask a little bit more about, let's just ask advice to searchers, because I think that's the best we can do right now. Advice to searchers. Where should people be searching for Riley? Advice to searchers. This is reminding me of Brendan Santo. I got this with him too. And he was in the river and he was caught up on stuff. He was caught up on a tree under the river. And I'm getting cards similar to him because I got that 10 of swords with that too. I feel like he's caught up on something. He's not in the river. He's somewhere else where he's caught up on something. He's not by that bridge. He's further down. They found that other guy, Brendan Santo. The guy noticed that around Halloween, all the students at Michigan State University were throwing their pumpkins in the water, and they were going down the river, and he looked to where the pumpkins were collecting, and it was quite a ways down the river, but there were a bunch of pumpkins in this one area, and that's because there were a lot of sticks and stuff blocking the area in that river, in that area, and so everything was kind of getting caught up in that. And I would look for something like that. That's coming to mind now. I know this is a bigger river, faster moving, but is there an area where things are getting kind of caught up further down? Because that's where he was like, okay, the private investigator was like, I'm going to put my cameras down over there and see what's going on in that area. And he found him. I'm just going to ask one more time about, will this kid be found? Riley. Will Riley be found? There's an element of moving. Either he moved in a car or he moved down the river. Riley, will he be found? This is the Emperor. It's a man. Someone helping to find him? Someone with knowledge? The Emperor knows everything. Let me ask for clarification. You know what's really hitting me is this thing the Emperor has in his hand, and I don't even know the name of it. Whatever that is, we need to find that symbol and see what that is, because that's really, really coming out to me. I'm going to research that. You can research that too. Whatever that symbol is, I feel like that has something to do with some advice for finding Riley, actually. All right, so I'm going to ask anything else we need to know. Anything else we need to know? Anything else we need to know on this one? I'm going to try to find my phone and see if I can look that thing up. Yeah, I have my phone. All right, let me figure out what is in this Emperor's hand. What is the Emperor holding? We'll throw in the word tarot in there so it makes sense. He holds an ANKH scepter in his right hand and a globe, symbol of domination, in his left. It's the globe that I'm seeing. Globe. Symbol of domination. Globe. And we got that for will he be found. Again, it just makes me feel like he's in a different place. It's weird. All right. Anyway, let me I'm gonna feel into that a little bit more. But anything else we need to know? Let me just ask that. Anything else we need to know before we go? Anything else last minute that we need to know before we go? Anything on Riley we need to know? There's the King of Cups. Water. We've got the Emperor. Boy, we have a lot of kings in this reading. We have all the kings in this reading. We got the King of Wands, King of Pentacles, King of Swords, and now the King of Cups. Almost feels like there's a higher up somehow involved. We have the Hierophant too. Either they find him, the higher ups, or there was a higher up sort of somehow involved here. Because I'm seeing this. For some reason, that's reminding me like of a police car or something. There's a lot of authority in this. A lot of authority. We've got the Emperor, the Hierophant, we've got all the kings. There's a lot of authority somehow tied into this too. Best case scenario, authority finds him, and that's what I'm being pointed to. Worst case scenario, this other involvement somehow came back to bite him, kind of thing. But in the end, it feels very much like he's still got a lot of accident vibes here from him. I'm just going to throw out weird things like, was he doing something? Saw a police car. Somebody was going to pull over someone. I don't know. He went in a different direction because of that, decided to go down somewhere. It could be some weird scenario like that. And I do feel like there is some element of somebody else being involved, a man, another man. Accident's really strong. So accident's really strong. Like if I was to say what happened to him, I'm going to go to accident because I've got accident here. Got a lot of cards like Brendan Santo, who fell in the river and went down the river. But I've also got this element of something happened, maybe accidentally. Maybe somebody hit him accidentally with a car and then he got a head injury and then he went somewhere else. There's something weird that happened before this. It's like potentially two things happened. Because I almost saw him like stumbling off a curb or something. That feeling of him going under something. There's like a couple of different things that happened. That's what I feel. And it made this not good scenario. Okay, not the greatest reading with Riley. I don't have a 100% on where to look for him other than it's not right there where he last pinged. I feel like there was movement. Could be the water, unfortunately. Did get a lot of things that reminded me of Brendan Santo. Definitely more than just one drink on this whole thing. A lot more. And unfortunately, I think he was looking for more. Still looking for more when he was out wandering around. There's an element of some sort of involvement with somebody else at some point too. All right, I will leave it there. Take care. Bye.